Okay, so this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Currently, I left the clinic that was doing our COVID for shots, and so I really didn't want to go home right now, just because I've been home like almost all week, and I wanted to get out, and it's like 70 degrees right now. It's really weird. I mean, it's so hot. I'm drinking a caramel frappuccino, which is kind of crazy, and it's January 15th. Nuts. So anyways, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Annabeth Western, and there's a couple of things I wanted to talk to people about. One is my health experiences. Currently, I am 41, pushing the envelope a little bit, but my health issues all started in my early 30s. I hadn't had any health issues up until that moment. I started having problems. I had my first surgery when I was 31, and it was basically a endometriosis ablation, but old school style, where they did the endoscopy, where they went in with the needles and like poked 5 holes in you, kind of thing. It wasn't bad. Recovery was rough because they filled you with CO2, and I like just about died when it finally moved around inside of me. But I was okay after that. I was good. But I worked really hard majority of my life for this company for 19 years. And up to a year and a half ago, almost going on 2 years now, I've been working there, and I had decided to make the change due to the company's change. But nonetheless, during those 19 years, from the time I turned 21 to the time I turned 40, I worked for the same company, for the same man, and the stress was enormous. I took on a lot because I wanted to learn a lot, because I wanted to take everything I could away from the company, that learning-wise, that I could, to utilize in another company. Problem with that is that comes stress. I became a manager, started out as a phlebotomist. It was ultimately pretty crazy. So now I don't manage anything. I just simply work, which is nice. But I got really, really stressed when I was 32 and ended up with inner ear shingles. Now, a lot of you guys know that shingles is something that is residually left over after you've had the chicken pox. I don't recall ever having the chicken pox. I know I was exposed to it many times, but as a kid, but I don't ever recall getting it, and neither does my family. So I did get the shots when I did get to California, because you had to have it when you went to school here. So I know I did that. But nonetheless, I ended up with inner ear shingles, which was shingles that manifested inside of my eardrum, in my head, and then came outwards to the outside of my ear, which caused Bell's palsy, and which made it look like I had a stroke. It was all on my left side, and people at work said it looked like my face was melting off, which is not exactly an ideal way of explaining it, but it was bad. What it had done is it had severed all of the nerves on my left side of my face, my tongue, my mouth, my nose, my eyes, everything all on this side over was severed. The nerves were. It took a good 2 months for me to recover fully from it. I was able to go back to work after a month or so, but it caused a lot of havoc. I was dizzy, I was throwing up, I was constantly just not being able to keep anything down because the whole world would spin no matter what I would do, and it was just the worst experience of my life. I think I would have rather had shingles anywhere else on my body rather than inside of my head. Consequently, after that, I sort of recovered but didn't fully recover. Prior to that incident, I was doing the gym 7 days a week. It was a good stress reliever, but it was something I couldn't do anymore because my fatigue was so extreme. So months and months and months went on, and the doctor still couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, didn't know, thought it was lupus, thought it was diabetes, thought it was just because I was chunky. It was a lot of reasons why they thought I had the fatigue I had. Turns out, an old friend who's a doctor who listened to my description of my complaints thought that I might have activated EBV, which is Epstein-Barr virus. And Epstein-Barr virus is the residual that's left over after having mono. I never had mono that I recollect. If I did, it was very mild and I didn't notice it. So apparently at some point in my life I had it, and the residual left over is Epstein-Barr virus. When it becomes reactivated, it stays within your system, and it just stays active consistently. You don't give it to people after it becomes active, but it does wreak havoc on your body internally and causes tons and tons of fatigue. So consequently, during the time that I activated the chickenpox residual is when I ended up reactivating the EBV at the same time. All due to stress. So, with that being said, and this is my first video in a long time, I just wanted to share with you guys that stress can affect you, and yes, you have some control over it, but not entirely. So definitely do your best, find your outlets, figure out what works best for you, and get the help that you need. If you have any questions, comment down below, or even let me know what your thoughts are on this video. I'm going to try to do another video continuing on with yet again more health issues, but I'll save that for another video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope this was helpful to you in some way or another. Alright, bye guys!